Hi, my name is Jason Young, and I have been doing 200 push-ups a day for like the past year or so. And the whole point of this is to let you guys know there's this product out there, and it's these perfect push-up things. And I used them for the longest time, but what wound up happening is it created a cycle. Like, I started using them because I have bad wrist mobility, and they're really inflexible. So I mean, I have to like pull that one back. They're really bad. So I started using these because it allows me to keep my wrist nice and straight, and it wouldn't cause any tendonitis. But then over the years, I'm not doing anything to help with the flexibility of my wrist, so it just keeps on progressing, and I eventually wind up just making it worse because I'm not stretching them. And the whole point of this is to say, like, I wish when I first started doing push ups years ago, I just used the floor. Like, do not use these if you're having, like, if you have wrist issues and you're like, oh, well, I can address it with these. Yeah, don't do that. It's a horrible idea. I did that for the longest time and it didn't help at all. Now I actually do push ups on the floor, and surprise, surprise, I wind up stretching it. And now I'm getting more flexible. It's kind of like deciding, oh, I'm just going to work on my pecs, but ignore the rest of my body. So, I don't know. Wonder if anything's going to happen due to this. And yeah, you just get more wrist injuries. If you don't ever wind up addressing the underlying reasons why your mobility is bad, then you just get more injuries. If you don't actually do proper push ups with your hands on the floor, and you're like, oh, I can't do that because it hurts. Well, maybe it's hurting because your wrists aren't as flexible as they should be. Maybe the solution isn't going out there buying up a $140 or $30 or $29 push-up board. Maybe the solution is actually just getting your wrists more flexible, keeping them in this position, doing some stretches with them, doing some mobility work. I mean, there's this slightly weighted bar at the gym, and probably the whole thing's about 5 pounds. But I'll hold that and I'll go like this with it. I'll go like that, do just different movements. I know it looks looks inappropriate on the computer. I'll go like that with it, and I'll just raise it up and down while holding it, and the whole thing just helps work out the connector muscles in the wrist, helps build it up, helps increase the actual usable range of motion I have within it. I'll also do push-ups with proper, like, hands flat on the floor. I'll even go slightly down to increase the angle on them, and it just winds up helping so much more than when I just use these things for years. I mean, they're good products. I mean, they really are helpful for push-ups, and if your wrists are just absolutely messed up and you still want to do push-ups, yeah, these work really well. If you just don't want to put any strain on them, great product right here. But you do need to take a step back and wonder, why can't I do a normal push-up? Like, why is it that I need these? Like, isn't that kind of weird? And that's why I started thinking, and I started doing actual push-ups. It's kind of weird to say actual push-ups, like with my hands flat on the floor, and I wind up not only like being more free in terms of where I could do them, because I used to bring these with me when I traveled, just because I like doing push-ups, and I find it a very useful way to get the blood flowing and help me think. So I mean, when I say do 200 push-ups a day, I do 10 sets of 20, and I'll just rep out 20 push-ups if I find myself getting a little tired, getting cold, or anything. And it's like gets the blood pumping really. It just really helps stimulate thinking and makes me more focused. Anyways, with that said, yeah, just look at the habits you're using. You might have started using something like I did. I started using these because my wrist had issues, and then my wrist eventually healed and they didn't have issues anymore, but I just kept on using it. And the fact that I never put my wrist through the full range of motion that they should be going through led to really bad mobility, and then the limited mobility just made it so they got strained more often. It kind of became this cycle that I eventually realized I was in and was able to break my way out of.